jewel of the cultural heritage of the Bamun community in West Cameroon and a component of national cultural diversity, the Ngwon, traditional governance rituals, and associated expressions in the Bamun community is in the process of being inscribed on the representative list of intangible cultural heritage of humanity.
The origins of Ngwon go back to the foundation of the Bamun Kingdom in 1394 by King Charoyen, who is the first king of Bamun. When King Charoyen founded and created the Bamun Kingdom in 1394, it was in Jimum under the tree, the X tree. He subsequently instituted in the kingdom, he created the tradition of Ngwon. The first edition of the Ngwon in the Bamun Kingdom was celebrated in 1395. That is to say that the day after the foundation of the Bamun Kingdom in 1394.
This festival, held every 2 years in Fumban, has grown in both popularity and worldwide acclaim over the last several decades due to the attention it garners for its vibrant cultural displays and uplifting principles of togetherness.
The
Ngwon is a polysemic reality. It is several traditions in one. Ngwon is both a body of judgment of the Bamun king. It is a tradition of democracy because democracy, as it is lived today, and which one gives the impression that it originated from the West, already existed in the Bamun kingdom through the Ngwon. This means that every year amongst the Bamun, the king went through an inquisition from the people during the Ngwon. The ritual chiefs of the Ngwon, who came from all corners of the kingdom and who are representatives of the Bamun community, met in Fumban at the traditional ceremonial court, which is a sort of a town square of the Bamun kingdom, and put the king through a public judgment.
The Ngwon is an ancient tradition of the Bamun that dates back to the end of the 14th century, which their kingdom was founded. In 1394, a group of princes and servants from Rifum, located in the present-day district of Bankim, Adamawa region, set out to conquer new landmarks. The new group found the Bamun Kingdom after making the long journey over the Mapé River and up the far country.
L'aîné de ces enfants s'appelait Charoyen.
The oldest of these children was named Charoyen, and he was joined by a brother named Marunta and a sister named Ngonso. The three were apt to live. It should also be noted that throughout Bamun history, each prince had his own servants. This means that the three who left would normally be accompanied by their servants. So we see three delegations abandoning their chiefdoms around 1394, running away from their palace to conquer new lands. The three will progress together, but they will be held back because they will come across the Mapé River, which was wide enough to stop their journey, as they weren't good swimmers to be able to cross the river. Charoyen will therefore take the canoe to cross, arrive on the other side, go about 20 kilometers to the hinterland, and conclude that it is satisfactory. They too in turn will decide to go separately. The prince will lead her people upstream of the river, where she will establish the Bansok community in what is now the northwest Cameroon. And Brother Fomban will go downstream of the river to go and found the Mbamwas community. Meanwhile, Charoyen will continue his conquest to Njimom, where he finds that he is welcomed with open arms and they will need to organize themselves.
Il fallait qu'ils s'organisent.
The founding council met under a tree surrounded by 7 stones in Njimom located 15 kilometers from Fumban, capital of the kingdom. Nsharayen, designated Mfon, first king of the Bamun, was chosen to lead a pioneering community that included both indigenous people from Rifum and others they met and assimilated as they traveled. A year later, in 1395, a unifying and communal ritual with the forces of nature named the Ngwon was instituted within this community.
Pa sat na yo am beto raro mo fa na pamma ngaka pampa lo function mbo tum rani yo po kapona njendi yimo na montu won po minani e po nshana wap te sarana won pe ambi mo fo na yo pam tu non tu njuna ba ngu wa yo nyi kapom a ma mbot na bien kumba phone serre shop ndet ngu shop ndet yu lum to map ndet ka wandi tam yimo na.
One is a ceremonial, social and celebratory tradition that has been observed since 1395 when the kingdom of Bamun was founded. This tradition draws its sources from the interpretation of nature. Its symbol is the beetle, an insect of the beetle race whose symphony of flight sounds inspired the Bamun ancestors' ideals of symbiosis, which manifested in the development of a song, a dance and a musical instrument sustained by a sacred society and rituals devoted to promoting peace among men and groups. The sacred society born of this metaphor is administered by the Mfon and led by customary initiated agents called Titangwon, fathers of the Ngwon, and Fonangwon.
In reality, the Ngwon among the Bamun is the embodiment of the Bamun community's democracy. This is the sole opportunity for the people to question the king's governance of his kingdom. However, everyone doesn't do it at the same time. The people are represented by a group of individuals known as Ngwon ceremonial chiefs. So when the king convenes an edition of the Ngwon, it is these practitioners of the Ngwon who are responsible as parliamentarians for touring the kingdom to be in contact with the people and to solicit feedback from everyone deep in the hinterland on the management of the community by the king. They come to formally deliver said feedback during the Ngwon's feast. In fact, that is the role of Ngwon practitioners. They play the role similar to that which members of parliament play in the National Assembly of each country. Well then, when the king convenes an edition of the Ngwon, these people go around the whole Bamun kingdom and consult the people as to the management of the kingdom by the king. What has the king done that is good? What has the king done that is wrong? What are the people who are around the king doing as abuses across the kingdom?
À travers le royaume.
The rituals begin with the consultation of community members in the villages and conclude with the public trial of the sovereign, which evaluates his management of the kingdom. passing through the collection and restitution of traditional medicines and the delivery and redistribution of offerings of peasant produce. 3 days of ceremonies crown this process, during which sacredness, accountability, participation, freedom of expression, social justice, and sharing are enacted in scenes of a celebration rich in values that contributes to virtuous governance. At first, the Ngwon was held once a year based on the agricultural calendar. The Bamun hold these rites on the day after the harvest of the region's primary crop. It started with millet, then moved on to maize.
Historiquement, le Ngwon était...
Historically, the Ngwon was a harvest festival and showcase of farming activity in the Bamun Kingdom during the celebration of the Ngwon. And when the king summoned this great event, it was an opportunity for all agricultural producers of all cultures of the kingdom to converge at the palace with their produce, but also all the other actors of the farming sector, that is to say the breeders and the fishermen. All of these producers came to the place with their products during Ngwon for several things. The first thing is that it was an opportunity for the king to appreciate the level of economic health of the kingdom. Because when the produce came in abundance, it showed that the Bamun kingdom is doing well in terms of harvest. That was the first thing. The second thing was that when these products were collected in the palace, the king performed a kind of economic redistribution function. What does this mean? It means that the corn producer, which is the main cereal of the Bamun kingdom after millet, before it was millet, today is maize. When the corn producers came with the corn, the king could offer them, for example, palm oil from another side of the kingdom and give the palm oil producer the corn from another village, and so on. So he took one product and compensated the other product with it to allow economic regulations in the kingdom. But the first products of the kingdom were exhibited and the king could award the best producers. This also gave rise to a kind of sharing of experience, because when you came to the place with good maize, well-produced maize, the producer of the maize could explain to the king and explain to the other producers the best practices they used to grow good corn and to allow others to learn good farming experiences. On this occasion, commodities were set up in agricultural reserves. They were stored in the attics of the palace to prevent famine. And when there was a famine in the kingdom, the king could ask the women of the kingdom to come to the attics and they will be given food to fight the famine.
On leur donnait de la nourriture pour faire face à la famine.
From one reign to the next, and from one century to the next, the Bamun kings who came after Nshare Yen kept this tradition going. With the geographic and demographic growth and development of the kingdom, the Ngwon grew in size as the kingdom integrated new people to the east, west, and south of the capital, Fumban. The development of civilization among the Bamun, marked by the expansion of arts and crafts among these people with great creative genius, has enriched the content and animation of the Ngwon. Many expressions are coherently related with traditional ceremonies, songs and dances, costumes, hairstyles, and ornaments, processions and exhibitions, traditional games, culinary practices, agro-pastoral show, amongst others. More than just a serious celebration in the austerity of secret societies, the Ngwon, beyond its forever preserved ritual framework, has taken an appearance of a cultural festival experienced in popular jubilation. The ancient march continued along this path until 1924, when the Ngwon was banned by the ceremonial authorities under the reign of the renowned king Ibrahim Joya, the 17th monarch of the Bamoun.
Au départ, le Ngwon se célébrait dans un cycle annuel.
Originally, the Ngwon was celebrated annually. It was commemorated yearly. From the essential milestone of 1395, the Ngwon festival has been honored annually in this manner. But when the colonial era arrived, the celebration was abolished. The Ngwon saw its return later under the reign of Sultan Njimulu Seidu, who presided over a few editions.
Inactive and threatened with extinction, the ritual was revived by the 18th king of Bamoun, Seidu Njimolu Njoya, who celebrated it in 1958, 1963, 1976 and 1985. 4 editions which made it possible to revive the actors, revitalize the practice and reactivate the chain of transmission. The Ngwon was definitely restored in 1993 by the 19th king of the Bamoun, Ibrahim Bombon Joya, who made it a biennial event since 1994. Over the course of 2 decades, the event has firmly established itself at the heart of the Cameroonian cultural calendar by adhering to its new regular schedule. Nationally and internationally, the Ngwon's renown and appeal have made it a catalyst for local tourism and a platform for intercultural exchange. Expressions associated with the rituals have become more in tune with the times, and an entire festival site is dedicated to them at the entrance to the city of Fumban, the Ngwon village.
La dynamique historique.
The historical dynamics of the Ngwon cultural element have spawned celebratory actions around the rites composing the event's customary body. These festival events are found on the Ngwon traditions of sharing, discourse and subsequent cohabitation.
Le partage, le dialogue et puis le vivre ensemble.
In 2018, The 547th edition of Ngwon was held, and a procedure was initiated for the inscription of this cultural element on the representative list of the intangible cultural heritage of humanity controlled by the 2003 convention, to which Cameroon is a signatory.
Aba titangwon ngwon ne puden juna aba yom fom beren ja de masho shanga ngupama barapu pengbe ne jamu sa ngweden jo ngan to ngudo pama de Cameroon iyo na yire yi apui isha kyuka nje na mbiye iren sa ngap shepa juma sementene pepe cherche pour peut embête que du seba ndimbo rani lo du yere mo de njere na pa kyuka ngomba to pour ko take se ndimbo rani na puis ba dit mayamba titangwona mafaku na mfombiere mina mfombiere piere ngangwon ngome ngwon fa tankuma juma se atenjo nganto ngopo funu UNESCO na
mi ashimo bo mi pangwo tongwo tingandale watindale wanjimase ntubo malumpo tjune tuga fa ntumbo fu ye ka po mendi me ba twatele wanjimase nganga ngompa ndina piansi shenga fi ma po mayimshi na ngomba mete mataleji po manga ngonduna pi fi yo e pi fi mandila pamru shemo yuna kumsha tetat aya iranta mi piriene ku mfombiere yu mi puga ge yugero ntumbo piba me nto shi mi ngwonwo seso po twate mandale wanjimase ngere mi mu yen shu e yi wan ngompa yire na obo ya nga bu ka ngwo ko pontaru po fi ma yam ke fo fi po bo shi belum tum po chuna pia manga yu nga ka so lum tum tu
yi pin fi ten shu pan ten la pa na nem ban tu ra am bo fu ka ni fu ngwa pi fi yi ma ya na ye ka ngon to na fombere yan sha mi fombere wan so ngonu ti mandale bi shi mi pi fi aya ako ne pagun andi reporter
Saturday, March 26, 2022 in Fumban, the 20th King of Bamun, His Majesty Muhammad Nabil Mforifum Mbumbunjoya, now at the helm of the kingdom, presented the Minister of Art and Culture with the Ngwon's nomination file submitted to bodies of this international mechanism. The future looks bright.